Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ, and I'm here with another Trash Craft Tuesday. First up, I just want to apologise. You can probably hear the noise of the wind. It's a very windy day outside and there's no way I can eliminate that, so we'll just have to put up with that noise. So Trash Craft Tuesday, super excited about this project. I've been fiddling around last night, came up with an idea that took me a long time to work out how it was going to work. Finally got it to a point where I could make it work, but I didn't make a sample. So I'm starting fresh today, and already I've had some issues when I was trying to put this together. So this is my second attempt at the video. The first one was just not worth salvaging the video, so I had another fiddle, and I hope this one's going to work. So what we're playing with today is the tear out strips from Tissue Box. So this one's got this really interesting curvy look. You can get them that are plain ovals. I was working on an oval one and it went custard, so I've ditched that one. And these, I've never saved them before. I've always just gotten rid of them, put them in recycling or on the fire, used to light a fire. But I pulled this one off the box the other day and it was like, it's super interesting. I must be able to do something with this. And yes, you could make a journal card, you could make a tag, an interesting shaped tuck spot or belly band, you know, any of those ideas. That excellent ideas, but I wanted something that would stretch me a little bit, and this has stretched me. Hopefully I can bring you along the journey and simplify it for you, is what I'm trying to say. Hopefully I don't muddle things up. Probably will, but come along with the journey, grab some craft gear and do the sum as you listen and watch. So I'm making with this an altered paperclip that has a journal spot. So this part on the back, that's all just lovely natural card, is going to be the journaling spot of this altered paperclip. So it's designed that it will flip open, and it's got this thumb tab here. So when it's on the box, it's got this thumb tab here where you pull it open to open the box, and I want to utilize that as like a page tab at the top. Now, depending on the size of your journal, it could stick above the cover on your journal. If you don't like that, then just trim it down to size, to whatever size you like. If you don't mind things sticking up, then leave it as is. Okay. Also, when you tear it out, it's got the little serrated bits where it tears out. So just go in, and I've already done this. I did this in the first video. So I'm sorry I can't show you again. And trimming off those serrated bits and just smoothing out where it joins into the rest of the card, because you don't want those catching on your page or on anything that you're putting in and out of your journal. The next step is to crease it along the top here, level with your little top tab bit. So on the two sides you want to crease it along here. Now I did make a mistake with this one and creased the tab bit down. Oops. But I don't think it will be a big deal, because it will end up being covered anyway, and that'll strengthen it. But so you want to fold it down across there, and I haven't folded that straight, I can see, but never mind, I don't think it will matter. And then you've got this interesting shape bit, which is going to be on the opposite side of the page. So what I've done so far to prepare is cut a circle out of scrapbook paper, and this is a 6x6 pad, Rosie's Studio Thrive and Shine it's called. So I've chosen out a couple of pages from that coordinate, and I've got circles that came off of the faux specimen cards that I made last week. I kept all the bits that I cut out because I thought, you know, good cardstock would be handy for something, and I'm using it for this, or using some of the pieces anyway. And I really hope this project works and it's not a big giant waste of time. Okay, so I've just inked around that, and I'm putting the short piece of the paper clip over the top like so. Now this bit is going to be exposed, and I've done that for a reason, because you need to cover the, sorry, I'm got to get my thoughts right, because I took it off I can't remember what I was talking about. So slide that back on. Right, yes. So we need to cover this back piece because it's 2 layers of card. If you left it like that, when you go to slide it on your page, you're going to get hung up where those 2 bits meet, and it's going to be a bit of a block. So I want to put a bit of paper that covers both the card and the paper clip. So I'm just going to take the paper clip off. Paper clip on, just so you can see that you've got it in the right place, because it needs to be low enough so that when you flip it up it doesn't catch on the fold. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. Now I'm just trying to get this off without damaging my paper. Right, and I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on there. My glue was all volcanoing, just to hold it in place. And I'm not worried about that glue spillage, because I'm going to glue another piece of paper over top. Oops. So I'm just going to distress that as well. So I am distressing these, you don't need to, but this one is going to go, hopefully if it works, in the Cafe Flowers journal that I'm working on, and that's a journal where I'm distressing everything, so I want to make sure it all fits together. And I'm going to glue this so that when it flips open, so this is this way up, that the image is the right way up for the person looking at it. Oops. It's a much warmer day today. I've got glue everywhere. So the fire is going, but it's warm outside. So my glue is a lot more volcano-y when it's warm. So in summer, if I don't close it, I end up with glue everywhere. And I found that with lots of different glues, not just this glue. It just seems to be something they do. The warmer they are, the more they like to climb out the top. Okay, so I'm going to cover that, and that's going to remove that barrier of the paper, of the card, when you put things in and out of the paper clip. Okay, so like that. And then I'm going to put this paper clip back on, like so. And that one's not quite straight, but it's fine. Okay, so I've got a page here. Sorry, I feel all very kick-handed. So I'm just going to make sure that it works, like so. Okay, now that paper clip is not actually glued in. Might have to glue it in. I'm going to leave it for now, because I can, if I need to glue it in, then I'll go in with another bit of paper over top of that. So I'm just going to leave that at the moment. Okay, so now I want to cover this, and this is the tricky part here, where you've got the shoulders that go over the page. So it's a little bit of a interesting process, shall I say. So I'm just working out. Okay, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to get it all out of this sheet of paper or not. So I'm going to cut a circle out again. And I'm not actually using the circle, I'm just using the bit of paper that I cut it from. I'm just going to cut it down. Hopefully I've cut it wide enough to fit it around, and it goes the other way, fit it around your little tab there. So the curve means, because we cut a circle, means it's not going to get caught up when we're folding that open and shut. And I'm not worried about what it looks on the front. I'm just needing to make sure that it works, covers these back bits. So I'm going to fold it over the shoulders there. Looks like some sort of tropical person, doesn't it? In a sarong. Okay, this yes, this will work. This is where the other side, the paper clip, does get glued in. Sorry, I forgot. I'm just trimming around that to make it a little bit easier to deal with. Okay. So now to generously apply glue on these back shoulders around your circle. So yes, that circle that I carefully covered is being covered up, so don't worry about that. It's probably easier to cover it in the first instance, so that if you muck it up and put it on the wrong way round, then you're not lost. It's still actually pretty. Yeah, you can tell this is a fly by the seat of my pants. Right, so I've got that good and covered with glue. So I'm going to stick that down, which is going to hold that paper clip in place. Bit of glue spilling out around the edges is fine. You see my wet wipe is all coloured. I was playing with some paint for Junk Journal July. So, and it's still slightly damp, so it's been sitting in my glass with a dish on top of it. So it's been there for three days, no, longer than that, 4 days, and it's still damp. So that is my tip if you want to preserve the lifespan of a wet wipe as being wet or damp. Put it in a glass with a dish or a lid on top, and it will stay damp for several days. Okay, just gonna trim off this bit, and just so I can see where I'm going really, and trim off this bit, so they're little scraps that will go in my scrap collage. Okay, and I'm just going to glue down these little bits on the front. These are going to be covered, so it doesn't matter what they look like. It's just to make sure everything's secure. Sorry, just have a wee sip of my cup of tea. Getting a bit dry. Okay, now the tricky part is cutting around it. I found this out on the version that I scrapped before this video. It does require a bit of kick-handed cutting. So here I'm having to turn it opposite to what's comfortable for me, just to get in around this area here. It's only a small area where it's awkward. It might actually be easier with my smaller scissors, so I'm just going to try that to see if I can get in there a bit better. So if you can think of an easier way to do this little bit, then please let me know. But yeah, I really appealed to me the challenge of the shape and doing something interesting with it. You know, journal cards are cool, but I just wanted something a little bit more exciting and hopefully doable. Yeah, I think the wee scissors are actually easier to get in there with, and neater, do a neater result. So So hopefully you guys are having a good day. I've already done one video today that did get uploaded. It's a very short one, just with an Etsy update and a freebie alert. So if you haven't checked that one out, go check that out and hop along to my Facebook group and grab yourself a freebie. No purchase necessary, so you don't need to buy the kit on Etsy to be able to access the freebie. It's just purely a freebie, which happens to complement the kit on Etsy that I've uploaded last night. I think I got that uploaded. Cool, that was actually a lot easier with the small scissors, which I didn't try beforehand. There we go, we'll just get those out of my way. Put the scrap over there. Okay, so now we've got our back side, the back of our altered paper clip, all nicely decorated, and you could go and put a focal image or something on there if you want. I'm not sure if I will yet. I'm just going to leave it like that, and then this is going to flip open and you've got this writing space that's kind of hidden. Whoops, that's torn. Okay, that's a trap as my paper has torn. Might be because the glue was still wet though while I've been manhandling it. So just be aware of that. Your paper might tear. Okay, now is this big enough? Kind of. Almost. Yeah, I can't. Can I get it? Can I get it to meet? Alright. Is there enough left of this one? No. No, that one's definitely out. I'm trying to angle it so that I can cover the whole tag, but I seem to either have a bit missing off one side or the other. So I could just trim that little point that's showing, and that's what I might do. Okay. So I am going to, I'm just wondering what to do about those edges that are lifting and broken. Oops, that's way too much glue for that little gap. See if I can get it gluing down first. Yeah, that's totally because I was bending it backwards and forwards before the glue had dried. So definitely wait till the glue's dried before you bend it back so that it won't tear the paper. Obviously it will depend on your paper as well. This is obviously gets soft with glue. Now, has that got a right side up or not? I might have to look at the pad to see. Is this one? I think it goes that way. I don't think it really matters actually, but right. Right, I might wrap the top back over since that's torn. Okay, so that will work. I can make it work. So I'm going to put glue all over the front of this. And if I end up with any bit showing on the sides where the paper doesn't go, I'm just going to trim it off. And nobody will be any the wiser. Actually, I realised today that the Cafe Flowers journal, I've got to get a motor on because it's only a couple of weeks till my friend's birthday. So I really need to make sure it's finished in time. Right, so just positioning that so it gets the most. So there's just a tiny wee point there, which I don't think is going to matter at all. I'll just trim off the tiny wee point. And just go and give that a good smooth and make sure it sticks well. Right, well, give that a moment to dry and just clean off my glue and shut it. I'm having a little trouble shutting it actually. I think it's been left to open and dried out a little bit inside the nozzle, and I think I've got a blockage there. So it takes quite an effort to shut it at the moment. I need to get in there and give it a clean out. It doesn't do that if you do shut it properly after every use. Right, so now I'm going to start trimming around that, and I haven't glued those shoulders yet. I'm just going to trim and give the glue time to set before I go in and see how I'm going to deal with it. I don't want to create more issues than what I've got. So I think this is probably a little simpler with an oval shape rather than this kind of S shape. But I do like the S shape. So I'm just going to trim off that wee point. But I think it's the S shape that intrigued me the most as well. So I definitely think it's worth playing around with. Right, and I'm just going to stop short of the shoulder in case I do wrap it over. I don't want to end up cutting the paper off that I need. I'm going to go in just below. Here we go. So you can't get the full effect yet because I haven't cut around the circle. So, okay, so I'm going to trim around the circle very carefully, preserving the paper on the other side. And again, I think I'll go to my little scissors. This would be easier if I was just trimming straight across, but because I want to preserve that and hopefully wrap the paper back over the shoulder to fix where it's ripped. I need to make sure I don't damage it, otherwise that won't work. Okay, so now I'm just going to try that for size. So I'm just going to straighten that bit up to meet the side of the curve. And same on this side. Oops, got a little piece there, get rid of that, and I'll fix up those raggedy bits in a second. So it's kind of not what I wanted, because it kind of interrupts the pattern instead of being a nice floating pattern. Floating pattern, what on earth does that mean? Just wondering whether I could use washi tape instead. I think I might use washi tape instead, because I'm not really liking how that's working. So I'm just going to trim straight across and use washi tape to hide all my sins. That's what washi tape's for, isn't it? Hiding sins. Yeah. Oops. And just that little bit there. Okay, just clear off these scraps. Okay, so now you get the idea of the little tab bit at the top. And I'll grab page back here. And we have our paper clip in behind that slides over top like so. Love it. I think that's really, really cool. So I need to find washi tape that's going to work. And I'm not altogether sure I've got something that will match. Oops, I'm just trying it. It's in a box on the floor behind me, so it was a bit awkward to get to. So do I have something that's going to work? This could be tricky. Got these blue with silver stars. That might be okay. Nope, not that. that's colour matches well, but it's not really wide enough. Put it as a maybe. What else have we got here? Christmas? No. Seashells? Not really. Very limited. I feel like my options are limited. These are all my washi tapes, and I always struggle to find something that I liked and matches with what I'm doing. Most of these I have got second hand, just in a big batch of somebody who is destashing, so they're not necessarily ones I would have purchased myself. No, definitely not. I think this one is actually the best match. We just might have to use a couple of layers to fix it up. Right. So I think I will put some glue stick on this as well to make sure it sticks down. Actually, I'll use one of my sticks that's run down. This is what I keep these ones that are basically finished. The glue's level with the plastic, but they're still glued down in there, and I use these ones to run my washi tape over top of, because I can push it down into the glue. Right, I think I just need to straighten that edge. It's got a torn edge, so I'm just going to snip it straight across. And about that much. So I'm just running it across the glue to make sure it stays in place. Now, one width might be okay. Yeah, I think that colour, this washi works quite well. Again. The glue sticks get a lot softer when it's warm too. Going in. I actually like how this blends in. It's quite good. And I've got a glue goober there from my glue stick. Actually, that's going to be cut off, so it doesn't matter. Cut it off and it will get rid of the goober. Okay. Well, kind of did onto my fingers. A sticky mess, sticky mess. Sorry, I'm getting in all sorts of difficulty here. Right, please stick. Right, just give that a moment. I might have to go in with another layer of tape just to make sure it stays, since it's quite a narrow tape. Okay, and I want to distress around this as well, so where my cutting is not that great, in those awkward places, it's going to totally hide that. And even on this quite dark paper, the old vintage photo still gives it a nice edge and definition. Awkward little corner to get in. Might give that an extra trim up. This is me just being a perfectionist. I didn't like that little bit of backing showing, and I couldn't get the ink in there to cover it. So you can be as perfectionist or not as you like. I think if you're a perfectionist, it's about working with it and about learning how to let go when things don't matter, on things that aren't critical. But if it's something that's going to bug you, then deal with it, take care of it, work out a way to fix it or make it not so bothersome. And I'm going to ink around this side as well. So I'm not going to bother backing that with any paper because it's not a bright white or anything. It's kind of a caramelly colour naturally, the back of the cardboard. Right, yes, I'm definitely going to have to put more tape on there because that is wanting to lift. Oops, and it's all creased now. Okay, hopefully this works. I'm actually wondering about putting some tacky glue in under there instead of the glue stick, whether that might hold it a bit better. And I'm totally going to have to clean up the excess glue. Oh, come on, glue. There we go. Screw it the right way to shut it. Right, just taking some of that excess off so I don't get quite as messy. Actually, I'm going to put this strip right across because it's below the thumb tab, or the no, not quite far enough over. There we go, try that. The page tab. I feel like I'm making things a lot more complicated than what they need to be. Hope for the best. I think it works. It just requires a bit of forethought, and as much as I had planned this and worked out how it would work, the actual making of it is a little trickier, shall I say. So yes, I just oh, please excuse me. I just ran out of time to actually test it, give it a test run. So just call it an adventure of crafting with Belinda. Right, I'm just going to give that a little time to set this time before I rebend it. And that's it really. The other one I had, which I was going to work on, I ruined by gluing it. So here it is here. I'll show my errors by doing it the wrong way round. So I've got, on the underside, I've got the 2 layers of paperclip and the cardboard, and it's glued in place. I can probably tear it off and rescue it, or the paperclip at least. Yeah. I have to say this was a better shaped cover, but I like the result of this shape. I think it's quite fun. So yes, that was my failed attempt, and I've put somewhere out of reach the journal I'm working on. So I will grab out this one on which I've done my envelope strip embellishments, if you remember that video. So I'll pretend that's an unadorned page. I'll use the back of it, turn it upside down so it's the right way round for this example. Right, is it ready to bend yet? Yes, I think we're okay. Okay, so I'm going to slide it on the page. And there we go. So you've got a front that I will decorate up. You have, I'm just looking for another journal card or something. I've got my bases here, so I'll just grab a base out of my bag of glued pages. Right. So once that's in the journal, that's going to sit down because it's got the weight of the journal. And then you can flip it up, being careful of the tab. So you can journal on here. You've got a paper clip that you can tuck something under, like so. And then on the inside, you've got this, which again you can put a little focal image or something on, or a word, and then you can also tuck something up under there. So there we go. There is my idea. I'm sorry that it was a bit of a an adventurous video in terms of things going wrong, but hopefully it encourages you that even when things are going wrong, there's usually some way around it. And that oval one, I will go on, I'll remedy that somehow, but that's a project I'll do, not on camera. So if I get it sorted, I will show you in whatever video it comes after I've fixed it, if I fix it. So yeah, just keep watching and maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. So there's my idea. I will call them, oh, I don't know. I'll come up with a name. Altered Paperclip Journal Spot or something. Something along those lines. I'll come up with a name by the time you get to see this video. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that video despite the issues. And I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.